Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 18 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic in this series of training. What exactly is training effectiveness monitoring? Well, in our day-to-day life, we do this effectiveness monitoring knowingly and unknowingly. For example, you can see in your home, your child maybe in class 12 and is studying very hard day in, day out. But when the result comes, you find out that the child must have got maybe around 60% or 70%, which is far below your expectation. Why it happened? Maybe because the child actually not studying. Maybe the child is studying but not in the right way. Maybe the teacher who is giving all this knowledge is not competent. Or maybe the child has not selected the right subjects, and that could be the reason for this result. So there can be many reasons which can be attributed to the low performance. Now when we talk about any industrial environment and when we talk things with respect to training, there are two key outputs which are coming out from any other training. The first is the knowledge enhancement, that you are at this level, now you are coming to this level. And the second is application of that knowledge, that you are knowing little bit about it, but now with this knowledge you can implement it better. For example, maybe in an organization a statistical process control training is given. Now it has enhanced the knowledge from this level to this level, but that is not enough. This is only part one. The important thing is whether that person has been able to implement that particular knowledge in day-to-day life or not. And if that is not happening, then it is not actually serving the purpose. So in this particular video, when I'm going to talk about training effectiveness monitoring, I'm going to talk in three different parts. What exactly is training effectiveness? Why training effectiveness is important? And the third point is how to do training effectiveness monitoring. So starting first with what exactly is training effectiveness. So when we talk about training effectiveness in easy language, the intent is that we identify that what exactly the company wants to do. Based on that, company provides that training, and then they see that whether the training is serving the purpose or not. If I put it in different steps, the first step is the company tries to understand what exactly is the training program going to do to make it successful. The second point is that based on that, the training requirements are being identified. Say for example, it can be improvement in productivity, reduction in rejection, it could be enhancement in customer satisfaction. And once that is being done, then the participants are identified and they are being communicated that on this particular day and time and this particular venue, the training will be there. And once the training is conducted, based on that, then we see that what exactly is an effectiveness. Now this effectiveness can be measured on the basis of this, that whatever targets that were set earlier with respect to productivity, whether they have been met or not. If the rejection level is, say for example 1000 ppm, whether now after the training it is coming down slowly or the customer satisfaction is improving or not. And the last step will be based on that. Now the organization can decide whether to continue with a similar kind of approach, or if the results are not coming, they need to look for some alternate option. So that brings point number two, that why training monitoring effectiveness is important. So there are three key reasons which can be attributed that why we need to monitor the training effectiveness. The first and the foremost important reason is that we want to understand that what is the impact of the training on the participants. As I said earlier in the beginning, that whenever we are providing any training, the key objective is whether the knowledge has been enhanced, and the second thing is whether the application of that knowledge is actually evident or not. So that is the first point, that whether the person has been able to understand the new thing or not, then whether that knowledge has been actually implemented or not. Say for example, let me give another example. Now the customer complaints are very high and we want to understand that why it is happening. So we provide a certain training with respect to that, that how to handle the non-conformity management. The training has been given and now the results are also coming very good. Everything is looking very fine, but then still if the number of customer complaints remains same, if the customer is still not satisfied with the kind of action plan that is being submitted to the customer, then it means that whatever effort that has been given, that is not serving the purpose. Now coming to point two, that why we need to do the monitoring. The second point is to improvement in the business performance. Now, anything and everything which is being done in the organization, the end objective is that whether the business performance is met or not. If it is happening, it means whatever is being done in the organization is in the right path. If it is not happening, it means there is something very important which is missing. So first and the foremost important thing here is to understand that whether the training has resulted in the business performance improvement, say for example, profitability, maybe the cost of poor quality. Second, can we assume that a training has been given for Six Sigma? Now, whether after giving that training, it is giving some breakthrough improvement and the changes are tangible or not, and whether all those changes are sustainable also or not. And the third and the most important thing is that in case the trainings are given with respect to say behavioral or communication skill, and the intent is with respect to the customer, whether it is leading to the customer improvement, whether it is leading to the customer experience which is getting better or not. And the third important thing why we need to do training effectiveness is to identify that whether there is any gap in our training process and what are the changes that we need to do. So for example, we are providing a training, and we all know that training is a very, very expensive process. A lot of money, time and energy is being spent in that. So whether the organization is able to meet their short-term and long-term goals. And that is possible only when the organization relates or link their short-term and long-term goals with the training plan. The second important thing is that whether the organization has been able to identify the right participant for the training. It is very, very common that the people who are actually part of the training, they don't know why they are going there. Very recently, I was giving one of the training and I could see there were 6 or 7 participants from one of the particular company. And when I asked the simple question that why you are here, so the simple answer is that, well, I was nominated by the company and that's why I'm here. So you can understand that what is going to happen in that 3-day training session. The third and the most important thing is the faculty, the person who is delivering the training, whether that person is competent or not. In industry, I've seen it many, many times. The people who are actually delivering the training, they are not competent. Say for example, FMEA first edition. Now, many people are getting trained in the last 2-3 years. But when I see the training record of the faculty, I find that that person has himself not got that training. So when that person is not competent, that person is not aware about something new, how can we expect that what kind of output that is going to come to the participants? You know the result, it will be disastrous. And the last and the most important thing is, we also need to see that whatever is the training process, whether it is serving the purpose or not. Now these days we are doing a lot of online trainings also, whether actually it is serving the purpose or it is only helping in reducing the cost, or we can have people from across different locations, that's why it is serving the purpose. Then what kind of sitting arrangement we are having, what kind of faculty selection, what kind of language. Like if we see about north part of India and south part of India, the south part of India people prefer either the local language or the English language. When we talk about north part of India, we feel that people prefer more Hindi or maybe simple English. So that's very important. Now coming to point number 3, that how to do the training effectiveness monitoring. Now there can be many different ways in which training effectiveness can be monitored, formal way, informal way. But if we talk about any structured way, there are 5 different ways in which training effectiveness can be monitored. The first and the foremost, which is most important globally, is Kirkpatrick model, which is a 4-level model. The second is the Phillips ROI model, return on investment model. The third is Kaufman's 5-level of evaluation. The fourth one is Anderson model of learning evaluation. And the fifth is summative and formative evaluation. You know, if you look into all the 5 models, you will find that 60 to 70%, majority of the things are similar, but they have added something new in their process. But as I said, the most important and the popular process globally is the Kirkpatrick model, and it is on 4 different levels. The first level is talking about reaction. The second level is talking about learning. The third one is talking about the behavioral change. And the fourth one is talking about the impact that has happened on the organization, which has resulted the results. Now talking about some of the key benefits which the organization can get by effectiveness monitoring. The first is accountability. It helps the organization to understand that whether everything has been done and whether it is giving the right result or not. Secondly, it also helps with respect to the transparency of the entire process, and whatever results are coming, that is very clear. And the third and the fourth most important thing is about the cost efficiency. The ROI, the return on investment, whatever money that is being spent, whether we are getting that money back or not. Now, talking about some of the key industry challenges, the first and the foremost thing is that whether the training needs are identified as per the competency gap or not. In majority of the cases, the answer is no. The second big challenge is that whatever participants that are being identified for the training, whether they are actually apt or right for this particular training which we are giving. So, for example, we are giving a training with respect to cost of poor quality. Again, in majority of the cases, the answer is no. The third and the most important thing is that after delivering the training, are we really interested to know that whether the training is effective or not? I've seen in many of the cases, people are very happy that the training has been given, this happened, that happened, but nobody is willing to see that knowledge has been imparted. What about the application of that knowledge? And the fourth and the most important thing is that how often the organizations are really serious about training effectiveness monitoring. And the person who is actually doing the monitoring and saying that yes, now that person is competent, whether that person himself or herself is competent to monitor the competence of that person or not, that's a very big question. So if I do a summary, I talked about three key things. What exactly is training effectiveness? Then second thing is why training effectiveness monitoring is important. And the third is what are the different ways in which training effectiveness monitoring can be done. Well, in my next video, I'm going to talk about one of that technique with respect to training effectiveness monitoring, and that is about Kirkpatrick model. Regularly, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side and they're helping me to understand your expectation. So please do continue that. And in case you are liking these kind of videos and blogs, you can always share with your friends and colleagues. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website, bhavyamangala.com. And in case you want to understand a little bit more about this particular video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there. And there you'll find this information in much more detail. Thank you.